EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. From State Farm Arena, tonight it's the Atlanta Hawks getting set to match up with the New York Knicks. The opening tip corralled by the Hawks. They've got it first as we're underway in Atlanta. Jay, I'm going to say that you don't know this, but since 1980, the Hawks have drafted only 4 players to have appeared in the All-Star game. Doc Rivers, Kevin Willis, Al Horford, and Jeff Teague.
Well, how about a guy named Dominique Wilkins? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, interesting that you'd ask. Dominique Wilkins was actually selected by the Utah Jazz. Smith now. His first effort off the mark. Trae Young to Parker. Jabari Parker rocking the rim.
Ed, I know I'm not supposed to be biased. I'm not supposed to be rooting for guys, but I'm riding with Jabari. Get your work.
Smith now into the front court, trailing by 4. Down low for Gibson. Using the post to his advantage there, and the finish at the rim.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. Fine to shoot. Trying to cash in. They're shot by Len. No good.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was the shot.
Taj Gibson above the rim.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. Down for Collins. Off the assist.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
Smith with the basketball. Down just a couple to Julius Randle. Kevin Knox down for Smith. Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. Fires the 3. Gets it to go. Coach cannot be happy with that closeout.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start jogging back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
Here comes the screen. Ellington against the Ukrainian Len. To Dennis Smith Jr. Going to launch beyond the arc. Rebounds taken in by Atlanta. Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. Five to shoot for Atlanta to Trae Young. Lets it fly from long range. Now ready for a couple of free throws.
There's a very fine line between maximum effort and carelessness. I'm willing to live with a few mistakes and maximal effort than having to constantly remind my players to close out.
First try, no good. Second free throw off the mark. Still one to come. And he comes up completely empty. 0 for 3. Smith into the front court. Down 3.
Screen left coming, screen left coming, screen left.
To Kevin Knox. Knicks with 4 to shoot. For 3. Rebound taken by Parker. Rises for the slam. Feed the big fella. Point to the passer.
So good when you get everybody involved, in particular your bigs. You get them going, they'll run the court faster, and guess what? They'll set harder screens because they're actually in the game.
Kevin Knox to Julius Randle. The shot, almost. Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. We've reached the end of the quarter. The Hawks with the lead. Second quarter set to start. This is what we like. This game is certainly in the balance.
Both teams are trying to feel each other out, but I like the aggression that both teams established in the first quarter. This is the first quarter league. The way you play in the opening minutes really sets the tone for the rest of the game.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
The possession lies with New York. Screen coming. Ellington picked up by Len. Surveys the floor. To Dennis Smith Jr. New York with 4 to shoot. No good.
And this happens all the time in this league. Sometimes offensively, you're tired. It's one of those type of nights. You combine that with the fact that the defense is hungry and active and contesting everything, that's why shots aren't dropping.
Trae Young to Parker. 5 seconds to shoot. Has a look. Shot by Parker, no good. Into the front court comes Smith. They trail by 7. Terrific vision. 2 points for Julius Randle.
When things click, they click. That's good offense right there.
To Parker. Here comes the screen. Parker to Trae Young. Down low, Collins. Second effort. Julius Randle swats it.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
There you go. Finally. Shoot your shot.
Smith with it up top. Right now, down 7. Kevin Knox to Dennis Smith Jr. To Julius Randle. Knocks it down off the step back.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Hawks have it. Trae Young to Parker. Probing the defense. Parker to Allen Crabbe. Here's a chance from long range. Trae Young bothered just enough there.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Smith. Knicks with 4 to shoot. Shot clock violation. Trae Young to Parker. Allen Crabbe picked up by Gibson. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Knicks Len, trying to cash in on the three-point play. A career 70% free throw shooter. Off the mark at the line. The follow won't go either. Smith now into the front court. He'll run the offense. To Julius Randle. And counted at the rim.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays, no one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
That misses with 2 seconds to go. That's it for the first half. The Hawks with the lead.
It's time for the Rose Report at halftime, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. The Hawks entered the locker room with a comfortable lead. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Atlanta Hawks. The Knicks are down at halftime and in need of some momentum. They don't have a single player that can claim double figures in scoring. These are the guys getting buckets for the New York Knicks.
First half stats. Player of the half.
Crab has already put together a pretty nice highlight reel for himself, and that's just after one half of basketball. He did a lot of scoring, and it probably won't stop anytime soon.
Who was cold?
Smith just can't seem to get it going. And his touch from long range is just off here today. This game would be very different if he'd been hitting those three-pointers. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that concludes our halftime report. Thanks for joining us, and see you again after the game.
Smith with the basketball. The deficit now up to 5. Screen coming.
Pick coming, pick coming.
To Dennis Smith Jr.
Screen coming left, screen coming left.
From long range. And it's the big man, Len, with the rebound.
I got him. Here we go. Here we go.
Trey Young, great dish to set it up. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Smith into the front court. The margin standing now at 7. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
Parker. The Knicks clear the board. Into the front court comes Smith. 5-point game. Big finish that time for Julius Randle.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Hawks with the basketball. To Parker. Sizing up the defense. To Parker.
Hey, you got the screen right, screen right, screen right.
Allen Crabbe here against Taj Gibson. To Parker. Smith with it up top. His guys down 3. Not that time. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
And he knocks it down at the line. Fires the three. That one off the mark. It's no good. To Julius Randle. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in a defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Trae Young to Parker. Able to convert inside.
Old school equals high percentage.
Possession lies with New York. Smith down low for Gibson. Nice pass to set things up.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
Trae Young to Parker. Defense making the ball carrier work. And count the basket inside.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Smith to Taj Gibson. Has a chance. Gets a look. Can't hit.
Misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you in the defensive end. Use it for something positive.
Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. Here comes the screen.
Big screen right there, big screen.
Down to 5 on the 24. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Smothering D. Smith now into the front court. Game's all tied in the final minute here in the third. To Gibson. No good. Deep two there, won't go. Deep three at the buzzer. That ends the third quarter. Scoreboard says it's all even. Hawks with the basketball to start this fourth quarter, and they watched their halftime lead completely vanish in the third quarter. What happened?
In the next team huddle, you let them know it's okay. This is a game of ebbs and flows. We need to find a way to regain our energy and get our way back in this ballgame.
Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Dennis Smith Jr. picked up by Len. To Taj Gibson. Doesn't get the bounce. Parker into the front court. Lead is 2. Here comes the screen. Julius Randle sends it away.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Parker to Allen Crabbe. Beyond the arc for 3. Tough shot. No good for Allen Crabbe. To Dennis Smith Jr. Reset here. Let's see what they do. Shot by Smith off the mark. It's the Hawks with the basketball to Trae Young. 4-3. And he stays cold from deep as he misses another one. It's no good.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Nothing going here on that drive. Gibson to Kevin Knox. Rebound claimed by the Hawks. And the finish at the rim.
The defender needs to do a better job of forcing a pickup there.
Smith with the basketball. His guys trail now by 4. Here comes the screen. And the reward, he's going to the line.
Yes, I love this move. Send him to the line. Chances are probably good he doesn't make both. And you also stop the clock while getting another possession.
Dennis Smith Jr. at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 69% at the line. Can't connect on the first free throw. And he's able to hit the second after missing that first one. Here's Atlanta with the basketball. Trae Young to Parker. The jumper's off the mark. To Dennis Smith Jr. To Kevin Knox. Fires the 3. He engulfed him that time.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter.
You've got to get that one to go. Smith into the front court. Down 3. Here comes the screen.
Screen come on your left. Watch that cutter.
Smith. Going to launch beyond the arc. That's how you defend.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Knocked loose. And the basket good at the rim. Now the coach of the Knicks going to signal for a timeout. They'll need a quick shot and then likely a quick foul in what is now a 2-possession game. Ellington picked up by Len. 20-footer at the buzzer. The Hawks are victorious as they take care of business at home. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Jalen Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Hawks got themselves a win here today. And some people may disagree, but I think their ball movement was the biggest key to their victory. Still, I think we'd all agree that they made the defense look slow and confused throughout this matchup. The Knicks didn't get the victory they wanted here today. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the New York Knicks.
Game track. Points in the paint.
The New York Knicks were simply unable to avoid being soft on defense when the ball went inside the paint. Why they couldn't rotate properly, I don't know. They simply got outworked in this matchup. Their lack of interior defense was most obvious in the opening quarters.
Player of the game.
Lynn could not have been more impressive in this game. The way he scored the basketball looked like he was playing with kids in high school.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that does it for our post-game wrap-up. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. Thanks for joining us.